Hi, this is Dan from Wonderpal. Launch and see what sticks. I absolutely hate this idea. I think most of the time you will end up with $0 and just wasted time. There is a better way. That's why I created a marketing plan template that will only take you 5 minutes but solve most of your problems. Let me show you how it works. Alright, let's start. We will create a marketing plan for a very simple app, Meal Planner AI. This tool will take inputs from user, their preferences in food, and generate meal plan ideas for their week or months. And the market is challenging a lot of solutions, so it will make our marketing plan more important for us. The first step is ideal customer. We start our marketing not from our ideas, not from product, but from our ideal customer, people who will pay for our product. And there are a lot of different frameworks how to think about audience. I will give you the very simple and the fastest one with only 5 inputs. So the first step is to define our target audience segment. So let's think who can use our meal plan tool. It can be anyone. It can be people who are enthusiastic about gym, people who go to office and don't have time, a lot of different segments. The problem is we tend to think everyone can benefit from our app. And that's true to some extent, but the question is who should we focus in the first version, in the first 3 months? Some people from other segments will still buy our product, but these will be our focus. And we need to define one very specific segment that is more likely to buy our product with less persuasion. So for this example, let's say we talk to a lot of office workers and they struggle with the same problem. Okay, they can't eat healthy food while they are in the office, and this is a problem, and we think we can handle this with our app. So our tool in the first version will focus all the marketing copy, all examples, all use cases towards one target audience segment, office workers. Here, you don't need to go crazy. You don't need to write something like office workers in Texas who work in automobile industry. Don't go too deep. It's completely irrelevant at this point. Just try to understand the group of people who will care about this version of the product the most. We will build features for them. We'll create marketing funnel for them. We'll create content for them. Just don't go too detailed, but at the same time, don't stay too broad. If you just say creative workers, it's too broad because copywriter is a creative worker, same as artist or a songwriter. But these three people are very different. So try to be specific, but don't go crazy. So now we have 4 very simple questions about this segment, and we need them to create a good marketing campaigns and good marketing copy, and in general, just do something people expect and want us to do. So the first question is, what is their problem right now? The thing is, if we create a product that doesn't solve any specific problem, it's just a nice to have, people will treat it this way. They will not have it as a priority, they will have it in the to-do list somewhere in the bottom. So we want to make sure these people have a very annoying pain that is in the top list of their priorities. So what is the problem around food in our segment? It's very simple. It's hard to eat healthy food while you are in office, and that's why you start to gain weight. So hard to eat healthy food and gain weight. So this is our problem, and this is something a lot of people can definitely connect with. We could pick a different problem. So for example, for some office workers, we can say that there is a problem to hit their protein goals while being in office. It's also the problem, but if we think about this problem, it will correlate with less people. Less people will think about, yeah, that's me. Some people will, but if we try to make our life as simple as possible, and this is our goal most of the time in marketing, we kind of want to target people who don't need a lot of persuasion. And this is, I think, a very good example. A lot of people can relate to this, and these people get this negative consequences of gaining weight. So they don't need persuasion. When a person doesn't hit their protein goals, it's not as negative as when you gain unnecessary weight. So I think this is a really good problem. It's specific, simple, it's easy to understand. And from this problem, it's very easy to write down a really good goal. What is the goal of our audience? It's simple. It's to lose weight. It's not to eat healthy food. It's not to save time on meal ideas. Their goal is to lose weight. Everything else is an instrument in their life. So yes, they would love to spend less time thinking about food, but it's not their number one goal. The number one goal is to lose weight. And this should be the focus of our marketing. This should be the customer transformation that we communicate to our audience. We can still mention other goals and we will, but the focus is not the meal ideas itself, is the point B of this journey. Okay. And right now, we kind of understand why people will care about our product. That's a good first start. But the thing a lot of people completely miss out is, but what is happening in their life? What are they already doing? Why they're not buying our product? And this is 2 points: status quo and objections. So we'll start with status quo. Okay, so our office workers, it's hard to eat healthy food. They healthy good. Okay, healthy food. um, they eat snacks, eat fast food, and they gain weight. They want to lose weight, and this is happening for the last, let's say, few months, few years. It's different for everyone. They decided at some point of time recently, and maybe not as recently, to solve this problem, and they failed. So what was the status quo solution? What are they using now? It can be different answers. Sometimes it will be another product, maybe especially in B2B SaaS world, it can be just another product which they're using. In this example, they probably don't use another meal plan tool. They just don't, it's not this type of market where everyone has their favorite tool. So what are they using? I would probably suspect that, like, if we generalize, they follow some food influencers and just save recipes on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. So let's just say we'll have Instagram creators with recipes. And this is what they're using to get these meal plan ideas for their life. And they probably follow people who target, especially office workers, who give ideas like try to meal plan like this. And this is what they're using. This solution has good and bad characteristics. For example, it's good because you can get a lot of different ideas and basically you get them for free. So this is a good thing. The bad thing, you can't really control what you want. You're kind of dependent on what people create. If you like some recipe, these people will not start immediately create more recipes similar to this one. It might be not always healthy, more, on the like quick side. So this status quo has good and bad things about this, but this is what they use. Again, it can be different for you, but we just need to think what is the go-to solution right now. Sometimes it might be even do nothing about, just like not solve the problem can be a status quo solution because people just don't care about. Good, very no-brainer tip: try not to solve problem where people don't do anything about them currently. And the thing is, when we come to these office workers and say, oh, we have a new app, give it a try, they will have objections. They will have some questions that must be answered before they buy the product. So we need to think. I would probably suggest at least three confusing moments that our audience has. So first, it can be, I think recipes will be boring and generic, which is a good assumption, I think, because if we just go to ChatGPT and ask, give me 10 meal ideas to lose weight, it will be really generic and just not interesting. So, second objection that we can get is, I can do it in ChatGPT for free. It's something that is very popular on Twitter, and most people don't think that way. But for some problems and with some questions, it's really might sound easier to just go and ask question to ChatGPT. The problem is the quality of the response will be dramatically different. And this is something people might not think in the first place. So we want to make sure they understand that it's not as good as it sounds. And finally, let's say our final objection will be maybe people tried some meal plan ideas, books, and other things, and it just didn't work out for them in, like, let's say, just 2 weeks. So it's hard to show up every day and cook what some app told you. And people, they maybe 1 2 days they skip and then never come back because it's just hard to get back on track. So it's hard to stay consistent with meals. And objection is like, it's hard to stay, so I might as well not just get started, because like I will quit in 2 weeks. What's the point of that? You can add more objections. It's usually a good idea to think about at least 5 to 7 objections, and it's very important to answer tough questions. So you don't want to give easy balls to yourself here. Ask hard questions that people have in their mind. If you don't answer them, people will still have them, and when they scroll your landing page, they will just leave the page unsatisfied because they just didn't get a proper answer for you. So now we have this very simple description of our audience. Can we get more ideas? Sure, we can get pain points, we can get desired benefits, we can get what people know about current solutions, we can get maybe trigger what pushed our audience to search for solution in the current moment of their lives. But for now, if we just keep it simple, these 5 inputs will give us maybe 50% of what we need to know about our audience. How you can describe these inputs? If you know your audience, and you should do to some extent, so we'll just, let's hope you are building for audience you at least understand, you get some ideas on just like top of mind level. If you don't really have a good answers, you can either go and do at least, I don't know, 5 to 10 user interviews and try to ask these questions, and just summarize and generalize answers. You can go to tools like free user persona generator, we have it in FounderPal, and just get these answers. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. You just need to get very specific answers. Try not to write too much, because if you write big paragraphs, it's a good sign you're trying to just, escape the question. And again, keep it focused. You don't need to write down 5 problems, just write one very good problem that you are trying to solve. All right. So this will be our ideal customer description. Everything we do next will be absolutely dependent on this block. So let's go to value proposition. Basically, what we want to do, we want to connect our ideal customer with our product through our value proposition. Because if we just come and say, hi, office workers, here is our meal planner app, go and buy this, they'll be just like, why should I care what it will do to me? It's just like, I don't care about the product itself. So we kind of want to connect the product and audience through the point B that people want to achieve. And as we already discussed, they want to achieve lose weight. So here's how we can do this. We have two really important decisions to make: is what is our customer transformation, and how are we different from what's currently on the market. So customer transformation will be very connected to the goal of our audience, because it's very logical. We will sell what people want to achieve, because if they want to achieve, they are likely to pay for it. So our customer transformation is very simple, and we can start the same phrase, lose weight. This is basically what we will help to achieve. You will lose weight. But it's not a good idea to keep it this way, because you can't really use this customer transformation in your heading one. You can't just like say lose weight, and it's just too short, and you might want to be associated with some specific benefits, and we'll think about them. So what can be important benefits associated with this goal? For example, we can say that it saves time. So lose weight without, spending too much time on meal ideas. This can be our customer transformation if we think our audience really cares about time spent on thinking about meals. So if that's the case, good. Second, let's say maybe our audience wants to meal prep for the week. So they cook once and, like they get 6 days of food and they save, not just save a lot of time, but save a lot of like mental energy on this and just more effectively spend their resources. So these can also be included in customer transformation, lose weight with meal prep ideas. And that's good because we don't just say lose weight, but we are getting more specific how you will do this. We'll use meal prep ideas. If we think that, maybe healthy recipes is an important anchor word, we can use it here. Maybe we think that high protein meals, again, important, sure, or low calorie can also be a thing. So there are a lot of options here. And there is no silver bullet, like always use this. Sometimes people care about time, sometimes they don't. Sometimes people care about some objection being held, sometimes they don't care that much. You need to make a decision based on your understanding of audience, your understanding of market, and like your product idea. For this exercise, let's say that we think that our audience mostly for now care about saving time and eating low calorie food. So we'll think about this way. And on the second thought, I think if we just say low calorie food, it can be kind of not that desirable because we think about just like, boiled chicken, rice, and broccoli. So we will say something like this: lose weight with, and again, don't treat it as heading one for now. It's more of the direction. So you can definitely change it, make it more sharp, more interesting. For now, think of it as just a direction of your marketing. So lose weight with low calorie but tasty meal ideas. Or maybe idea can be tasty, I think. Okay, cool. So this is basically our idea. We only generate low calorie meals, but they are all tasty. So it's not like boiled chicken and just like absolutely tasteless meals. So it's something tasty, but it's not as heavy because we care about audience who's basically cutting weight and not bulking. And that's very important because we made that decision just like 10 minutes ago. And this will, as you can see, define our value position and the features we will build. So, for example, when we generate meal ideas with AI, we will explicitly ask AI to only generate low calorie meal ideas, even if high calorie meal ideas are present. So this is our customer transformation. Again, if we think, for example, that taste is not as important, but saving time is, okay, cool, we can change it. For now, again, top of mind for first version of the product, I think that's something interesting. Ideally, you get this sentence based on some customer insight. Maybe you have a friend who's working office and another friend, and you talk to them and you keep hearing the same thing. Oh, I hate eating out, but I hate cooking rice because it's just not tasty. And that's why I gain weight. And you synthesize that the problem is that they don't have low calorie but tasty meals. So, that's something we can use. This is customer transformation. Don't think a lot about specific phrase. It's not a slogan. It's not something that will be used in every marketing page. It's a direction, and just make sure it's specific. If you write 5 paragraphs just to describe what people will get from your product, you probably get it wrong. So next question, and this is, I think, one of the most important steps, and that's why it's final in the first block. So what is different? We are not the first product to target this audience with this customer transformation. Sometimes we are, but most of the time we're not. And at some point of time, they were just the same guys who try to do just the same thing. What is different? And you might think, oh, then, why should I care about being different? There are so many similar apps, and you are absolutely right. In some markets, you can just be as similar, not care about anything, just similar app, you will get your chunk of market. If you think about design agencies, most of them are, absolutely similar. They do the job for you, you pay money, that's it. You just like the differentiation is pure vibes of like this designer. That's it. But if you are building digital products, if you are building SaaS, if you are building mobile apps, that's a very good moment to think about. Even if you providing productized services, it's a good moment to think what is different. And the answer can be pretty much anything. Maybe you use different monetization model. Everyone is selling subscriptions, you sell one-time payments. Maybe everyone tries to, let's say, price the product per usage or per seats. You have a different monetization model. That's a good differentiation moment. And sometimes it can be just the segment. Maybe nobody cares about office workers. Maybe everyone cares about someone else. It's not the case in our example, I think, but in some products, you might just be different because you target the specific segment nobody cares about. Sometimes it will be some sort of feature. Sometimes it will be maybe the way you deliver the product, the marketing tone of voice. It can be pretty much anything, but it should be something. For us, let's say we have a few ideas. So the first, I think it's good. We will use one-time payments. You know me, I'm a big advocate of using one-time payments to get started, and maybe that's a good idea. Again, people, especially in mobile apps, you will see a lot of news reports that people are kind of tired of subscriptions. I think we can really handle this trend. So we'll use one-time payments just to make sure people, feel the difference. Okay, so second, let's say something that, we discussed, maybe we will put a lot of attention on meal prep ideas. So we'll not just say, every day wake up and cook 3 meals for yourself, because if we target office workers, we kind of need to understand that they don't have this privilege to have like 1 hour every morning to cook meals. So we will say, okay, twice per week, you cook meal prep, low calorie but tasty meals. Perfect. And final one, let's say that we had a problem with consistency, and maybe this is something we can use. For example, again, I'm not the biggest meal plan expert, but maybe we'll just try to have a friendly to just make sure people stay consistent, because most apps, maybe they just like very neutral, they don't really try to be human. It's like every week you get ideas, but maybe in this example we will try to be a little bit more community focused. Might be different idea for you. It doesn't really matter that much what you pick, it just should be something and something people care about. So if you pick, for example, differentiation idea, our tone of voice is very, let's say, provocative and aggressive, but people don't actually want this from you. They completely don't want this, they want something else. Yeah, you will be different, but in a bad way. So try to pick some ideas. I would target at least 2 to 3 differentiation ideas that are relevant and people care about in your audience. So this is our positioning, and as you can see now, our meal planner app is starting to get some shape. So in the beginning, it was just generate meal ideas, but now we see what type of meals we generate, what type of audience we're trying to target, what type of food we will return, what type of inputs we will get from the person. Maybe I think a good example here is office workers. Some of them work full time in office. Some of them now work hybrid, and like some days they work at home, some day in office. we can have this as an input in our meal plan. And for example, some days they will have, like, let's say Wednesday at home, we will get them more sophisticated, more interesting ideas just because they are at home. And this is something really cool. And people will care about this because they will see, this app, they actually made this feature that is only relevant to me. I like this. I feel represented. I want to buy this product. And if we just make a very generic app that, is kind of for anyone, but at the same time, nobody really cares about this, it's a bad idea. So this is positioning. I think it took us maybe, like, without every explanation, let's say 2 minutes to complete. But now we have a very good foundation for our marketing. It ensures we don't create something just because we want this, but we will focus on, like, our ideal customer to try to serve them the best way possible. All right, let's go to the second step. Now we'll think about our marketing funnel. So we understand our audience. Now we want to make sure they will understand why our product is awesome and why it's a no-brainer to buy. And we have just two things to nail, is activation and monetization. So the first step is activation. I just want you to think about this as multiple touch points in which we interact with our audience, and every time we communicate in a very clear way why we are a good match for them. So in what moments people understand our value proposition, in what moments they think, yeah, I really want this customer transformation, and I really think that my objections are handled, and I really want to get my goal, like, this year. And touch points can be anything from landing page to free demo to booked meeting to maybe some community in Slack, whatever. Any touch point with your brand in which people feel slightly better that this is a better deal for them. So what can be for us? We're probably building a mobile app, so I don't think the landing page will be very important, because we just don't have that much focus on it. The first step, and probably one of the most important, is some sort of free trial, free demo, free plan. Just had to pick somewhere. We can pick nothing, but I think for this type of product, it's usually good to give at least some ideas. I would argue that free plan is too generous and we will not cover AI costs, and it's just like a very bad idea if you're a bootstrap founder. Free trial can work for some products, but I think in this one, um, the retention question is very challenging, and we might just get problems after 7 days because no one comes back. So let's say we'll have some sort of free demo. And when we write this, we don't just want to mention it. We kind of want to think what kind of free demo, what people will get. Okay, maybe people will get ideas for first 3 days. There is 30 days in months, and we will get them ideas for 3 days. It's like 10% of the months, unlock the rest after. It's not a free plan, it's not a free trial, but a good free demo, and people will make sure it's something that matches their current goals. Maybe they don't want this, and we kind of want to secure ourselves from chargebacks and refunds and everything. So first one can be free demo. Second one, let's say that maybe we will have some sort of community. And again, as we mentioned, that's our differentiation. If that would be, B2B, we could say Discord, Slack. If we're targeting just regular people, that would be a stretch to try to create Discord server. So let's say we'll have some, Instagram. So that will be like a page to highlight our community, our community recipes. And it's not the app per se, but it can be a moment. If community is a part of our product, it's an important feature, that can be a very interesting activation moment for us. So finally, I think if we are thinking about activation, we can definitely have some sort of email sequences about good food and, just eating healthy, losing weight. It not necessarily might be about our app, but just again if people get more trust in us as knowledge providers, as just people in this industry, it can be a good and beneficial thing. So they will just think about our app more and more. And yeah, I like these activation moments. We can add more, but I think that's a very good moment. The next step is to think about our monetization. And this is something, again, I think a lot of people completely miss out how we plan to charge people. Are we subscription? Are we one-time payment? Are we maybe annual passes, our credit base? What is the pricing? Because we do a lot of work to find the right people, to communicate our product value proposition, to activate people. But if the offer is bad, it's just not interesting, people will just lose the attention, just completely pass on it. And we need to just make the decision in the beginning. Don't make the decision just before the launch. Think how you will monetize your product just when you got the idea. Because if you can't monetize it, it's probably not a good idea to build it. So again, as we mentioned, for us, might be working with one-time payments. Let's say we will have some sort of 30-day pass and 1 year pass in which you can generate as many meal ideas as possible. Just like we have a limited number of days, but you can regenerate multiple times. Maybe we put some limit on days if we are really like cautious about AI costs. I don't think it will be that an issue. And yeah, let's just again pick some ideas what the price can be. So for example, let's say for 30-day pass, it's mostly for people who are not confident that this app is for them, just like to test the waters. And maybe for some people who, are not surely they will work for 1 year in the office, they just kind of want sometimes test it, maybe get some ideas, cook it for 3 months and come back, get more. So let's say for them, we'll have just for the beginning, let's say $9 for 1 year pass. So we kind of want to give a discount here to make this deal a no-brainer. So let's say here we do, I don't know, let's say 39. So it's like the cost of 4 months, maybe even 29. It doesn't really matter. I have no idea. Look, you kind of want to go and check the competitors, check your AI calculations, like how much do you plan to spend per user. But this is just no, just like my high level idea. Again, this is already good because I can think, okay, if I have $39 per year, so like on average, let's say my user will spend $20 in my app buying 30 days or 1 year passes. So how much can I spend on marketing? Okay, I can spend this much. Okay, how many users I need to get to 5,000 monthly revenue? Okay, I need this many users. Is it possible? Do I have ideas how to get this many users? Because if you write down, let's say $5 per year and $1 per month, but can you get 5,000 paying customers every like month or not? That's a good question to ask yourself. And this is something very important. If you have this goal to get profitable as fast as possible, pick the monetization that helps you to achieve this goal. Um, and I think that's good enough. Might be better. I don't like to personally build these cheap products, but it might work as a beginning and as something for B2C audience. So the final step, let's talk about how we will get users. This is user acquisition, and we need to make two decisions here. How we'll get our first customer and how we'll get our first 1,000 customers. So what is the difference? When we think about getting the first customer, it can be as unscalable as possible. It can be a very specific idea, some tactic that we do once and never do again. Whatever it is, we just do it, and it will, with higher chances, get us the expected result. With thousands of customers, we think about the system. We think about marketing funnel that will get us high quality traffic every day. It should be scalable. It should be reliable. It can't work one day and completely don't work another day. It's a system that show us where is the good traffic every day. So first customer here for this product. If you have, maybe some audience, uh, you can just launch it on your audience. This is perfectly fine if you think there are people that match our ideal customer profile. If you don't have, and maybe you saw a Reddit discussion with no solution there, and you can think like, oh, maybe I can plug in and get some first paying customers there without doing anything scalable at all. Maybe you don't have these and you just plan to launch on Product Hunt or buy Facebook ads, whatever it is. You need to be very specific what you will do for the first paying customer. Because if you just say, I will just do marketing, it means zero, it means nothing. First paying customer is very important because you validate multiple things: positioning, pricing, the whole product idea. And having this very specific tactic is what separates people who get some revenue and people who get zero revenue. So for this app, again, let's say we have like nothing. We have no friends. It's easy to imagine, and we have no audience. We just got this idea. So publishing, Twitter content won't help if we have like, let's say, 50 followers. Launching a Product Hunt won't help because nobody will come to support us. We need something that doesn't require, this thing. So for us, I would probably suspect that the best we can do is a Facebook ads, Facebook ads for this audience, because again, we have nothing. We have just an idea, and maybe if we go and do just basic Facebook ads, $100, and see how many clicks, how many signups, how many purchases we can get, maybe we will nail this. Of course, if you don't have any experience with Facebook ads, you just like never done it, it's really bad idea to write that down, because like if you are completely beginner, it will take time to figure it out. So it's a bad idea to combine those two things. But if we have some experience, it's a perfect campaign. You don't need to like describe what specific campaign you will do. It's not that important. We just say like we plan to do Facebook ads to get first paying customers. Okay. Um, so again, this can be our idea. So we are very specific, we'll get this with this pricing, but it's good to have some ideas what you will do next, because a lot of people, they, launch on Product Hunt, launch on Reddit, launch on Hacker News, and then they're just like, what to do next? Where can I get traffic in 1 week? Because the traffic from Product Hunt will be over in just 5 to 7 days. With Reddit or Hacker News, it's a 1 day traffic. So if you don't have any strategy here, the chances are that you will just fail because you will not get enough attention. We want to make sure we understand how to get traffic every single day. This might change. It's perfectly fine if you write something down, it changes. It's okay. That's what experimentation and iteration is for. But we need to make sure we at least have some initial ideas for our funnel. So, okay, how do we get our first 10,000 customers? We have three type of channels that I like to think to have a proper marketing funnel. So first is direct channels. This is basically channel in which the more you do, the more result you get. Examples, it can be ads, Facebook ads, Google ads. It can be cold outreach. The more emails you send, the more replies you get. It can be, yeah, maybe newsletter, sponsorships, influencer marketing, just anything that like, correlates with the amount of effort or money spent or time invested. So this is something we control. So next one is algorithmic channels. This is basically social media. You publish content, and most of the time it won't go viral. If it goes viral hard, and you get a lot of attention basically for free. So good example: TikTok, Instagram Reels, Twitter. It might be some other social media that work for you. Maybe Hacker News, maybe Reddit. I would say Reddit less, but there is also algorithmic part there. So this is basically, you don't control the output. It's very uncertain, but it can be asymmetrically good. And finally, long term. So when we think about long term, is like for the first 3 to 6 months, the result will be very low, but then it will just go up and up because you just show up consistently and it compounds. Good examples, it's obviously SEO, it can be YouTube channel, which correlates to subscribers way more than, Twitter or Instagram. It can be newsletter. So any it can be community too if there is a way to acquire users through free community. So a lot of work and good result in the end. So yeah, we want to have one good channel at every category because that will make sure we leverage short term, long term, we leverage what we control, what we don't control. Our marketing funnel will be more robust and we're just basically unkillable. And just there is no possibility that we will not get good traffic on any day. So what will be for our app? Like if we think about direct channels, I think again here I will just honestly duplicate. It's perfectly fine. Oh, that's not a way to duplicate. So yeah, let's not argue with Google Doc. I think again, if we have some experience, that's the best way to do. You just buy Facebook ads, you show your product on Facebook, on Instagram, maybe on other Meta products. If we have experience, perfect. I wouldn't do cold outreach for $9 app. Um, we could do influencer marketing, but that's usually, requires higher budgets. So if we don't have that much money, I think Facebook ads is good. Again, could be Google ads, but I don't think for this segment is really good idea, but for some segments can be. So algorithmic, I think here, again, very simple. We go and we basically create Instagram reels. So, people who care about these office workers, healthy lifestyle recipes, they hang out on Instagram. It's like maybe some of them on TikTok we can repurpose, but like if we really focus, we focus on Instagram. So not all of our reels will go viral, but maybe one every 20, 50 reels will go and it will gain exposure to our app. So long term, what can be a long term for us? If you write really good, it can be newsletter. Here, I think if we basically create AI wrapper, we can leverage a lot of free tools, free AI wrappers for our main product. So for example, we just like generate different meal ideas, but for all main diets, we can create a free generator. So for example, like free keto diet plan generator. I would probably expect a keyword to be on every major diet. And if we need to calculate calories, okay, perfect. If we need to generate healthy snack ideas, also possible. So I would probably say free tools for SEO. We can leverage these tools in Instagram Reels. So we create a free tool, we shoot a video about this, and yeah, we just basically get some traffic in Instagram Reels, but then long term we get traffic from SEO. We can even go further and use Facebook ads as a retargeting or something else. So I think everything works really good in combination here. And as you can see, if we just say, oh, let's rely on free tools, but like how much time do we have? Do we have like 12 months to wait for really significant results from SEO? And if we only say Instagram Reels, can we really be okay that on some days our app will just generate $0? So I don't think that's a good strategy to have just one channel. If you have three different channels, they don't require everyday work. So for example, if you create free tools for SEO, you might just set a goal, one free tool per month, and that's it. So you will literally take one day to build a free tool, post it, and then you can spend most of your time on other two channels. But you will still wait for compound growth to kick in SEO. So this is user acquisition. One of the most important steps you can do is to make sure you understand how to get your audience every day, because if you only plan for launch, you plan for disaster. The launch day will be over very soon, and in 3 months you will not remember what happened on launch day. But marketing funnel and stable user acquisition system is what really matters. So this is a marketing plan. 3 steps, a bunch of decisions. Now we have very clear directions, what we should build, how should we promote it, and like what do we do in case something doesn't work, because we have multiple channels, for example, multiple ideas for activation touch points. I like this. I think it will take you maybe 5 to 7 minutes to complete for your app, but a thing I want to do is to highlight common mistakes that you might make that will completely make this plan useless. So it will be just pointless to rely on this. And these mistakes is something that I see, maybe 70-80% of the time when I talk about marketing with founders. So the first mistake is to pick the wrong segment. It's very easy, and sometimes people do this just because they want, to hang out with certain people. So for example, you create a meal planner and you think, okay, I will target founders and, worse, indie hackers. But why does this segment care about this problem the most? Or you just try to hang out with these people more? Or maybe this segment never paid for this solution, for this kind of solution. They just don't care. It's not on their priority list. And you can literally just pick another segment with the same audience and it will be much more beneficial. So try to pick a segment that is not your favorite, but more, you just have more chances of success with that segment. It's very important. And again, this is the first decision we made. Everything further will just completely relies on that first decision. If you make a mistake here, everything else is completely irrelevant. So please spend some time thinking who really needs your product. So second is a bullshit value proposition. So as you can see, we wrote some good ideas here. A lot of time I see people write something like, or think, oh, which is better, or which is faster, which is cheaper. These type of very short and very, generic answers are just speed running the day you shut down the product. If you don't have a good answer of why your product is better, why people should care about your product, people will not suddenly start caring. If you can't really synthesize a good answer, people won't be able to do so. So um, spend some time, write sharp sentences that really are specific and unique for your product, and try to say that you are the best and everyone else sucks. It's not the case. You need to find the use case you are the best for and use cases you don't cover. So that's second mistake. Third mistake, very easy. I think we touched on this, is subscription obsession. Some products need subscriptions. I pay for a lot of subscription products, but the thing is, if your product delivers recurring value, there is a potential to charge recurring subscription. If your product doesn't do that, it's probably a good idea to think about one-time payment. It might not mean that your product is useless. Maybe the way people use it is not as linear. Maybe they use it 5 times per year. Sometimes they use it twice per month. Sometimes they don't use it for 4 months. If that's the case, it's a very good idea to think about one-time payment because you get money upfront. You don't have a lot of responsibilities before the user. You don't face any accidental chargebacks and refunds and forgotten subscriptions. So there are a lot of advantages. Obviously, there are disadvantages. You get more uncertainty. You will probably very likely sell your product for less money because it's not recurring revenue. But still, if you're just getting started, think twice if you want to start with subscription. You can always add them later, but first impression matters, and give it a shot with one-time payments. So mistake number 4 is mediocre landing page. In that case, we don't really rely on landing page because it mostly App Store page or Google Play page. But if your product is, SaaS, digital product, service agency, this will be the page that gives the first impression. People will remember your product based on the information they read on the landing page. Anything you do after email sequence, free trial, it will matter way less than the landing page. So if your marketing plan looks like this, build the product, spend 1 day on the landing page, it's wrong. You need to spend more time on your landing page. You need to publish it, get some feedback, constantly A/B test things, and just iterate over and over. Because if you do it once, mediocre landing page, you're just losing potential paying customers. People will not make effort to understand your like marketing gibberish or just abstract copy. You need to do the effort. So a lot of these things will be completely irrelevant if you just can handle a good landing page. And make sure to fix it. A lot of problems in marketing funnel just start with the founder not being able to describe the product in an exciting way on the landing page. And final mistake is picking wrong acquisition channels. Kind of generic mistake. I will try to explain. A lot of people do acquisition channels based on what they want to do. So let's say we have a developer and they are kind of used to publishing blog post articles, but maybe their product completely doesn't match with that type of acquisition channel. Maybe their audience doesn't Google for that kind of questions. Maybe they just spend time on Instagram. So it's a really bad idea to do just what you like in terms of user acquisition, because user acquisition is focused on your audience, and you kind of want to do things that not only you like but that your audience expect you to do. So if your audience expect these kind of products to be found in Instagram ads or in influencer videos or in, let's say, some free tools on Google, do this. If your audience expects a cold email, send cold emails, because again, you are not doing user acquisition for yourself, you're doing it for audience. All right, so these are 5 mistakes. I think it's um, very understandable what is problematic with them. It's also not very hard not to make them. So just pay attention, and if you're feeling like you're going into this direction, just take a moment and think twice what can go wrong. If you pick a wrong segment, if you pick subscription, and you will see that, like, yeah, there are problems here. So this is marketing plan, some common mistakes. I think that's all you need to start. So if you are building your first product, I would highly recommend just do it manually. You don't need to buy any products. You don't need to hire marketing agency or marketing consultants. Just do it yourself. This is a 5-minute exercise that literally solves 80% of marketing problems you will face after the launch. You can do it yourself in 5 minutes. If you care about your product success, you will do it yourself. If you struggle with getting answers or you want to get more, there are different ideas. I personally build marketer generator that leverages AI to get these answers in a very unique and actionable way for founders. So if you're curious to learn more and get more insights about what direction your app should be going, go to FounderPal and open Marketer Generator. It's free to start, and I'm sure you will love ideas about how to grow your product. Okay, that's it for today. You can get marketing plan template in the comments and let me know what you think of this video. Bye bye.